where they were on the bridge and then to where their bodies are found. I know we talked about the terrain in the past. I mean, it's not an easy thing to navigate. Usually you might have to be familiar with the area. I mean, would it have been difficult for the girls to travel from where they were on the bridge to where they were found?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be difficult. Obviously, they had to go through some pretty steep terrain and wooded area, sticker bushes and things like that. So it's and then to cross the creek, I mean, obviously is February. It's probably not the warmest. It was a warm day that day, but still the water temperature is probably cooler than the air temperature. So yeah, it would have been difficult for, I mean, I don't think anybody would say, hey, let's on a walk would walk that way. So.
Hi everyone. So that was a clip from the recent interview that First Sergeant Jerry Holman did with Fox News, I believe. In the comments of my previous video, someone said, well, how do we know that the girls crossed the creek? Because the lead investigator just said that the girls crossed the creek. That being said, I want to let you all know that if I deem something as fact in any of my videos, it is because I have sourced it from official means, such as the Q&A that Becky Patty, Liberty's grandma, and Liberty's aunt did on Facebook, or things that the police release to the media. But be careful with things like that, because sometimes the media doesn't always put things out there the right way. And also, I want to put a disclaimer on this video specifically, because when it comes to criminal profiling, and I'll talk a little bit about it, but anything that comes out that is not deemed fact, so profiling or conclusions I make, it's all based on an educated opinion. And when I say educated, it's because I hold 3 diplomas related to the field. So I hold one in Human Services Foundations, I hold one in policing, and I hold a postgraduate in crime scene investigation and forensics. So, that being said, in terms of putting a profile out there, it's all my opinion, based on techniques that I learned in my criminal profiling class. But I want to stress that I cannot create a proper profile for the killer of Abby and Libby. I can't do that because I don't have pertinent information to create a proper profile. And I'm not going to speculate on things. I am definitely not ever going to speculate on the girl's cause of death. I won't do that out of respect for the girls' memories, and out of respect for the girls' families, and out of respect for this investigation, because the truth of the matter is there is a monster out there that killed 2 young teen girls on a Monday afternoon in broad daylight, and that's scary. That's really scary, and I do not want to do anything to hinder that person being brought to justice. I mean, I'm hoping to get into this field to help people. I don't want to do anything to derail any of this. That being said, from the most recent interview that First Sergeant Jerry Holman gave, he says that he can only speculate if this person has done this before. But he also says that it's very important that if somebody knows something, to come forward. Because this person will probably do this again. That tells me that they do think that he has done this before. And he does talk about the Iowa cousins, Lyric and Elizabeth. But unfortunately, when their bodies were found, they were so badly decomposed that the police could not determine a cause of death. So the MO isn't there. He recognizes the similarities between the two cases, but without knowing their cause of death, it can't be concluded they are actually linked. But I will put the link to the 27-minute long interview that Jerry does below, and I highly recommend that you watch it, because he gives a lot of information, and he also debunks a lot of things, and I think that's really important considering there is a circus surrounding this case. I've never seen anything like it. So, that being said, I will get into a little bit about Addie and Libby. I wanted to make this video sooner rather than later, because I know you're all anxious, and sorry, my cat's digging the china in the kitchen. I don't know what he's doing. I know you're all anxious and interested to hear what I have to say, and I appreciate that. I really do, but I want you to take what I say, in my opinion, with a grain of salt, really. I'm not a police officer. I'm not even close to being a police officer. I just have more education than the average person in the field. But if anything that I say kind of sounds like someone you might know, someone that maybe you rationalize not calling in, for the families of these girls, please call it in. I will always have the link to the FBI tips webpage, the email address, and the phone number. Please, 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 please. I know it can be hard, especially if it's someone you love and someone you're close to. But I'm sorry, it's not as hard as, the days that Anna Williams has to face every day when she wakes up and her daughter's not there to get up and ready for school, so please. That being said, I made a couple notes on it. I'm not, this isn't probably going to be what you guys want to hear. It's not going to be completely detailed, because like I said, I don't want to speculate on a lot of things. But one of the things mentioned in the comments in my previous video was me thinking this was a crime of opportunity, and I'd just like to clarify that. I think it's entirely possible it was a crime of opportunity, but I don't believe that it was. I think that the monster who did this went to those trails that day with the complete intent on causing someone harm. I think he went there prepared. I think he planned it meticulously, and I don't think that he went there to specifically kill the girls. I think that they might have been there, wrong place, wrong time. And I think that there's a chance that this person was someone passing through, a trucker, maybe taking a break or on his lunch break or something. Or it could have been someone who doesn't even live in Carroll County that has these urges to kill, and kind of what I talked about in my other video, the psychological power and control issues, right? This is a person that is hiding in plain sight. He no doubt has a wife, kids, family, home. I think it's possible that it's someone who could have went on vacation to do some winter camping, because I do believe that this person's very outdoorsy. I think he was in the area for a little bit prior to the murders, and I don't know if it's been debunked or even spoken about. And if you know, please comment below, because I'm always interested in hearing theories or whatever, thoughts, opinions. If there was a campsite detected anywhere in the general vicinity of the bridge or the trails, if not, maybe, well, I guess it's too late now, but it could be worth seeing if there's remnants of one. It might give them more of an idea of what happened before. But I think that the person had at least spent some time in the area. I mean, let's be real. He seemed to walk across that bridge, or appeared in the couple stills that we've seen to be quite comfortable walking on the bridge. This is a person who has mommy issues or sister issues. I think that he was either possibly sexually abused by his mother or abandoned by his mother at a young age. And he hates females. I mean, yeah, when I say this guy is hiding in plain sight, he, on a prima facie, on the face of it, from outsiders looking into his family life and things like that, he's probably, you know, that upstanding citizen in the community. Maybe even goes to church, maybe even holds a position of power at work. But behind closed doors, I have no doubt that he may be abusive towards his wife, if he has one, or his girlfriend. The type of person who can 1 minute be laughing and socializing with others, to the next minute giving someone a death glare. And I know that sounds really cliche, and I know that sounds like something you only see in the movies, but these type of people exist. And I often, for some reason, when I think of this person, I revert back to Ted Bundy. He was a poster child for an organized, non-social personality type killer. And I think this person is a lot like him. I mean, Ted Bundy was actively saving lives, working for a suicide hotline, as he was actively taking lives. Like, how crazy, like, how messed up is that, right? Going back to the bridge guy, I don't think either one of the girls knew him. I don't think that, because stranger on stranger crime is rare. Okay? So statistically, stranger on stranger crime is very rare. Stranger on stranger violent crime is even more rare. This type of crime happening in Carroll County, in Delphi, is rare. The FBI is involved, okay? If this was someone known to these girls, this case would be solved. Stranger on stranger crime are the hardest to solve, because you have to start with nothing, absolutely nothing. Once you clear the family and friends, it's like, where do you go from there, right? You gotta let the evidence lead you. And Jerry Holman states, you know, they have quite a bit of evidence, like with the the video and the still photos and the composite sketch and DNA. But what good is a DNA sample if you don't have a hit in a database, right? So, I really don't believe that this person is known to the girls. And I truly think that this person was passing through. Maybe they are from Indiana. I'm not very good with dialects, so people talk about, oh, he's got an accent, a southern accent, or things like that. I don't really know, because I don't talk like the typical Canadian, because I lived in England for a little bit. But I'm not very good at deciphering dialect. But I don't think this person lives in Carroll County. Only because this is an organized, non-social serial killer, I believe. I did do, for my criminal profiling class, sorry, my cat's obsessed with me. I did compile a profile of this guy. It was worth 50% of my mark, and it's floating around there, floating out there somewhere. I posted it to Reddit, I think, and on a couple of the Facebook groups, because at this point there isn't a damn thing I wouldn't do to help these girls and their families. So if you belong to any of those groups, I mean, go ahead, give it a read. I don't even really care if you guys tear me apart or tell me I'm so wrong, because like I said, at the end of the day, if what I say, if you're like, oh, wait, Jimmy down the street, didn't he go off camping back in February? Shit. You know what I mean? If this video like has someone have that aha moment, then any sort of negativity that comes my way from making these videos is worth it. It's 100% worth it. One thing before I go, there was a question about evidence. What other evidence bags, or what other evidence could they need more bags for because of a radio transmission? And I do want to say that I don't remember exactly what radio transmissions were said, like what the exact wording. Sometimes I ad-lib things. So don't take what I have to say as exactly what was said. I'm not reading a transcript. If anything, I'm reading notes out of this little book. But they asked for more evidence bags. I can't speculate on what other evidence would be there. I did make a video a little earlier with some of my tools of the trade, like police seals and things like that. I don't know if I'm going to post it. If you guys are interested, I definitely will. It's already made. It's good to go. But I'm sorry, I can't speculate on what other evidence they could have collected, because again, I don't want to hinder anything to do with the investigation. I don't want to fuel the circus of rumors and things surrounding this case either, because at the end of the day, we have to remember these were two little girls, two teen girls who were loved, who had families that see this stuff, that have to wake up every day and face the day without these girls, and we must not lose sight of that.